Capricorn, how are you? We are going to connect with the law of attraction. I am going to start this reading now because I really want to give you the information that I am receiving for you, because there are going to be days of luck. Let's see why. Well, it tells me that before having another thought, because thoughts manifest your reality. Each thought will manifest unless you cancel it out with an opposite thought. Each thought, what? Negative, negative. That is why we want to orient the law of attraction toward what it is. The earth spins in its orbit for you. Everything flows for you. I told you, from the birds that sing for you, and the sun rises for you and sets for you. The stars come out for you. Everything beautiful that you see and everything wonderful that you experience is for you today. That is why I feel many good things coming for Capricorn in these next few hours. Let us uncover those energies, Capricorn. Let us take a moment now to discover what your guides have in store for you over the course of these next few hours and the days that follow. You are entering a period defined by genuine good fortune, and since this luck is finally here, standing right before you, make sure that you do not let it slip away or waste this incredible opportunity coming your way. Well, here's a very interesting card. Well, the luck and the miracle. Wow, 3 major arcana. After a moment of waiting, a moment of introspection where you were taking time for yourself to meditate, perhaps you have done it consciously because you sensed what was coming. Life is putting you in a place of luck, in a very convenient place, because the situation that you lived through relatively recently is leading you to take other paths or handle yourself in a different way. It tells me that taking the time for contemplation by withdrawing and living within yourself brings you so much light. It is as much light as you need to walk the right path, as much light as you need to recover your faith and return to what could be taking that leap, to return to what could be taking that step. That is, reaching that moment or being at that point to take the great leap in life. In other words, to take that leap, as it says, of faith, right? The sun rises, the star comes out in your reading, and the sun also spoke to us that the sun rises for you, the stars come out for you. The first card was reaffirming that to you. Optimism replaces worry, and hope replaces fear. And what am I telling you? A thought, before having a negative thought, change it automatically for a positive one. That is why it says you are recovering faith and confidence, because that situation that you are helping to mature is what will place you in the place of victory, in the place of glory, in the place of the miracle. And that brings you into a state of beautiful balance. Looking specifically at the Temperance card, which is the quintessential card of balance, it is speaking to us about how you are currently combining, mixing, and merging several different points of view. By doing this, you are effectively generating a brand new, truly extraordinary idea that will guide you forward with clarity and purpose as you continue on this transformative journey toward your goals. You know that the Temperance card is a card that brings communication, effective communication that can be about work. It can be from a person of interest. It can be a communication that cheers up your life from any area that you are needing it. Also, a situation that brings a lot of light to your life can be the end of a conflict with a person, because Temperance helps you a lot so that you can balance that opposite. It is understood that the opposite can be yours. A person with whom you are thinking differently, seeing the same reality in a different way, and that has led to you and that person being at this moment in a blockage, in a distance, or being angry or estranged. And here Temperance tells you, stay calm, Capricorn, because this is being sorted out. I'm taking charge of bringing healing to this situation. You have the Star and Temperance. They are very, very strong and favorable cards when we want to obtain something that feels like and is expected as a miracle. And the Hermit also, by the way, because he gives light to this situation, you also being the wise one, acting maturely, being condescending and empathetic with everything, first of all with yourself, collaborating with others to reach a compromise and find a better solution. Also contribute your part. Perhaps you are very into your idea, very into your stance, very into your thoughts, and that is fine. But sometimes one must also allow the other to give their point of view. And from there, this combination of what are today opposites can end up benefiting you with what could be this solution, right? Coming to an agreement. Here, what the guides want to tell you is that you're going to come to an agreement. Let's see what else you have to know. You know that these readings are always generalized. It may be that sometimes they resonate with you or sometimes they do not, but beyond that, perhaps you want to address your specific case. You can do it by having a personal reading with me. Write to me through the webpage. You always see the address here in the video, and you also have a pinned comment for your sign so that you go directly to the page. Let's see what the cards let show. I feel that things are getting very interesting. Well, a 4 of Cups, a King of Swords, and a 5 of Cups. You see that now you are going through a moment. Look, the Hermit again, or you are isolating yourself because you don't want to, you don't want to be in contact with other people because you feel better being alone. But watch out, because there's a 5 of Cups and there is a 4 of Cups. You can overdo it, and sometimes it is necessary to be in contact with other people, or at least one person who for you is a trusted person to tell them what is happening to you, or simply so that this person, it is not that they are going to give you advice, nor that you are looking for advice, but you are interested in the person being there, listening to you. Likewise, you have a person, a King of Swords, who is someone who is in some way supporting you in this situation. Can be the person who intervenes directly in this situation where you are like in a fight, like they're like this, facing this situation from a place that feels like conflict, and that person acts as a mediator. Or also what happens is that through that energy of the Hermit, you can have light through what is your mind and act logically. And execute the changes from a personal place that you understand you need to execute to obtain a beneficial result for you and for other people. Because what you're going to do is also reflected in some way in other people. Likewise, the 4 of Cups card tells you that it may be that you are waiting specifically for something particular, and that is being delayed, and that same uncertainty that the wait brings you not only makes you impatient, it makes you uncomfortable, but it actually makes you go to a comfort zone, to stay in that comfort zone. And life tells you, watch out, you could be missing a nice opportunity. It is not worth waiting for something without a reason. And it is not worth staying in that same position all the time, either, or with that same energetic load in that same place. Being conscious that there are things around you that are worth taking, choosing, or that are there to serve you or to give you something in some way. Because you have the 5 of Cups, or you are hitting rock bottom in that aspect, and you're realizing that you can no longer stay in that position and you have to move. That is why the first card spoke to us about illumination. They spoke to us about changing the thought. They spoke to us about balance, because you could also be choosing to stay in that place that feels comfortable, which is already resulting in being very uncomfortable and keep suffering, because that is how it is with the Cups, keep suffering. There is a transition. You are also asked to open yourself to what could be the transition of emotional change, acting with the maturity so convenient that the Hermit offers you, right? That is why it is also a moment that light is given to you. You are freed from that burden. You are freed from that uncertainty and that discomfort, but you have to seek the light specifically. That is why also, if you are choosing to isolate yourself to balance those emotions, and sometimes one needs to do it and does not want to be in contact with anyone, and it is fine and it is respectable, but do it from a healthy place. Do not do it from a place where you know you are going to get depressed and it is going to do you harm. Besides, you are not going to be alone. There is a moment, like it is seen in these days, that your luck changes radically, right? Because the sun makes it so that you can discern the solution where now you are not being able to see it, to reunite with the communication with this person who is so important to you and is making you have a hard time in this situation. The King of Swords helps you a lot so that you can also have the correct words, that your truth is understood, is respected, and you can free yourself, become independent from this complicated situation. It may be that this situation comes from another place totally different, not necessarily emotional, or that it links a person who matters to you at a love level, that here things are being fixed and are being settled because the communication that comes to help things work better. Maybe also that this communication that arises is also to have an agreement regarding what could be some type of negotiation that you have pending or have ahead with someone. There are interests on your part that have to be defended, right? That have to be achieved, because that corresponds to you. It can be something legal or something economic or something personal. And that, of course, has you quite exhausted emotionally, and it is understandable. That is why here great importance is given to how you are handling the situation. The Star card is telling us that, without a doubt, things are lighting up for you. Also, there's the Star and the Sun card, which was the first card, right? It spoke to us about the illumination the sun is bringing you right now. So what I have to tell you is that this situation that you are going through is going to leave you more strengthened, more resilient, more mature, and above all, more conscious of choosing a correct path, and above all, where your emotional stability will no longer be at stake. Quite the opposite. What is going to happen is that the Star connects you again with illusion, with the illusion of love, with the illusion that you lost regarding this expectation of the situation. Or what made you lose all the expectations that you had, that you connect again with that being expectant, but not from a place of dissatisfaction and sadness, but from what is faith. That is why also this isolation, which I see there quite strong, this can also have a healing connotation. Yes, you know it, obviously, if it is worked on very well, because automatically after all this, a big change will come that leads you to what could be luck. As I told you, you are also coming out of a stagnation because, yes, you are understanding yourself personally regarding things that you want, that you need, and that you feel. But it may also arise to be conscious of what the other person understands as well. So there is light upon that situation, which is why the star is here now, which connects you with a desire, obviously, right? It connects you with hope. It connects you with transparency. It connects you with what could be the flow of what you want. And besides, since temperance brings as much balance as you are needing in your life, it may be that what the star also wants to tell us is that the balance comes hand in hand with the appearance of this solution in search of what is obviously emotional stability, where you feel that this deep understanding makes you recover your trust, for example, in that bond with that person, or also trust in yourself. You recover trust in what you understand that, well, you have to trust again from a personal place because you are transforming things and you are freeing yourself from things. So it is a moment where there is a lot of truth, where there is a lot of transparency. So everything that comes for you will be worth it. All the situation, because either you renounce the mask because you are saying exactly what you feel, what you think, and what you want, because there is a King of Swords, or someone also renounced their mask and shows themselves without armor. They show themselves without protection, and the environment is no longer perceived as dangerous or threatening. Because each one of you, we are talking about in an emotional context, is showing themselves as they are. You are accepting each other. You are accepting everything that surrounds you as well, both you and the situation, whether it is good or not so good. You are also finding a different way of being in the world. This has served you a lot, having the Hermit so strong, right? Because you are feeling that you are finding a place in the world and that this place makes sense to you today. And this brings you something beautiful, which is satisfaction and joy. And there you begin to feel the need to be grateful, because you are going to come out of all of this a better person. Just like someone who is related to you in the situation, the desire is fulfilled, yes, and the path is also found to be very illuminated. And well, you are the one who ultimately makes miracles happen because you are radiating light, you are radiating love, and you are receiving it. You are also responding to life in a different way because life is smiling at you today. That is why I told you that there is a change of luck. In other words, what could be considered that bad streak is over, because I also feel that you are overcoming a great disappointment because there is the Five of Cups and you are recovering what is the meaning of life and you are leaving a negative situation. And above all, you are also returning to activity from a place because you are also leaving boredom behind. So here what I feel is that many of you have gone through a great test of faith, and some can also take it as the dark night of the soul, right? Because it is also inviting us to find the meaning and motivation that we have lost again. So that which was becoming so heavy, that which was becoming so complex, that which made you decline today becomes very luminous. I mean, you are recovering your energy again, and you are no longer mired precisely in the routine world, not in emptiness, nor in continuous introspection, nor in solitude. You also don't have the need to isolate yourself or remain stagnant. In other words, you need to break out of autopilot. It could be that you were just going through the motions, waking up every single morning to go to work, and it was already becoming quite tedious for you. You don't have to stay stuck in that cycle any longer. It is time to step out and reclaim your life. Besides, you were also maintaining relationships that did not provide you enough, or you found yourself uncertain in a context where it was very difficult for you to communicate or express yourself. So today you are finding the strength to fit into a context again, but you feel it differently. It is not that the context has changed. What is changing is your energy. Context may have changed too, if it has to do with that conversation, if it has to do with that true feeling that is going to be seen, or with what also appears through a solution that can come from the hand of someone who helps you, who is helping you professionally so that you recover all of this and can get out of the situation in which you find yourself. Or perhaps the time has come for you to start understanding things from a much more mature perspective, right? You might be realizing right now that you had wandered down the wrong path, but the good news is that you are currently in the process of finding your way back to it. It is all about embracing this new level of awareness and finally reconnecting with the person you were always truly meant to be all along. You may have gone through a situation where, in a way, you felt the challenge you had to face was beyond your reach, and you believed that you simply could not do it, that you weren't capable of handling it at that moment in time. And the star invites you to be optimistic and, despite everything, understand that yes, you really can do it, and it challenges you to remain truthful, by the way, because there is a King of Swords. But it also challenges you to show yourself as you are and to just do it the way you know how to do it, because you are really going to do it very well. You are recovering something that has to do with love here. You are recovering something that has to do with a couple context or a very important relationship. Let's see what the Metamorphosis Oracle tells us. Life is what happens while you are busy making other plans. Do not let life run you over. You run over life. Let us trust and decree, Capricorn, that all of this arrives and the miracle is produced.